the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them don't abuse the children, them.
Our children in Guyana face it hard. They have to work and provide, oh my God. Our children in Guyana face it hard. They have to work and provide, oh my God.
See some children try hustling like man.
Oh my God, parents try and understand. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them.
Hold their hands as we carry them to school. Make sure they follow the anthem and the rule. Hold their hands as we carry them to school. Make sure they follow the anthem and the rule. Education is the key to success. Give it to children and make them progress. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future.
Everybody come join with me. Say Narayan alongside Nishabi. Listen for the children, every country. One people, one nation, one destiny.
Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse the children, them don't abuse the children, them.
Our children in Guyana face it hard. They have to work and provide, oh my God. Our children in Guyana face it hard. They have to work and provide, oh my God.
See some children try hustling like man.
Oh my God, parents try and understand. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser.
with children them. Don't cuss with children them. Don't use with children them. Abuse, don't abuse with children them. Don't hit with children them. Don't cuss with children them. Don't use with children them. Abuse, don't abuse with children them.
Is the key to success. Give it to children and make them progress. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayan and Ishal, we singing together.
Don't hit with children them. Don't cuss with children them. Don't use with children them. Abuse, don't abuse with children them.
Don't abuse our children them. They are the future of the nation. PK DJ Production.
Beautiful song done by Mrs. Narayan and Nishal B, Sons of Guyana, our legendary country. Good evening, and welcome to Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. I hope Ken is ready for the radio and he's now listening to music there. Hey.
Well, very good evening to you, Shanaz, and to all our lovely viewers. Well, you know, I hope that you guys are doing well. I am fired up tonight. I was surprised to see Shanaz came kind of dressed down a little bit, but she still look hot. So the studio is on fire tonight. I hope you guys are on fire tonight too.
Or, you know, sometimes when I say hope you're doing fantastic is like, you know, if we go for okay now, it's, you know, it's still good. How can we say we're fantastic when there's so much calamities around us, you know, when everyone is suffering? So I hope you guys had an okay day. Okay is okay for me now.
Well, you know, Shanaz, I didn't want to get into this, but I had a rough week starting from last week.
And it's good to say we had a rough week sometimes because, you know, everybody.
That's right. We don't want anybody to think that life is so sweet and good for us. As you know, last week my hot water tank went out. It was leaking in the basement.
They say when it rains, it pours, right?
And it really did pour on me from last week.
This week was your week. That's why when we have it good, we have to say thank God we had a good day.
Yes, and then, you know, Friday before I went to work, if I had waited like a couple of minutes more, my car probably would have caught fire. Wow. Then I went to work. Yeah, I left
I mean, Ken, you have a brand new car, so what happened?
You know, I had a puncture, and I tried to blow up the wheel for a long time.
Oh, and so you tried to do your work yourself.
Yes, and then what happened, I went to work Friday night. I worked 16 hours that day. So as I was ready to come home that night, Friday night, the tire could not inflate. So I had to end up taking the train. I didn't want to bother anyone.
You know, there's something called Uber.
Nah. But, you know, the good thing about that, Shanaz, is guess what? I'm working with someone who, and I'm glad I'm talking about this. She was a prostitute many years ago. Also, she was walking the street. She was on drugs, heroin, and so on. And now she's doing her master's in social work. So it was a good story. So I started her book. So I was on the train, and I know you guys will hear a lot more about it. And I'm so glad that she's doing better. Also, then when we finished Sorinja and myself, we tried to fix the heating tank, the hot water tank, on Saturday all day. We tried to fix it. Thank God we got it. Then when we go upstairs now to take a shower, the thing is leaking. The pipe is leaking so much. All evening we trying to fix it. Thank God it's fixed. But on the brighter side, I'm glad that we all collectively could get it done. It's good to have support.
It's family support, family effort, and I hope you had Ken and Kevin to watch what's going on, because that's how you learn to do things yourself. And where we come from, Guyana, everybody, you know, you have something to fix, construction work, you do it yourself. Plumbing, you try yourself. I mean, I renovate our whole entire home with just family help, except the roof and, siding and stuff
Well,
like
you could
that.
get a lot of help, Shanaz. You know a lot of people.
Because our family is always there. My brother-in-laws, they're always there doing stuff together. So they're learning from their uncles, and that's where it comes from. So let's say good night to Mr. Vicky. How you doing, Vicky Safraz? Hey, Shelly Backus, good night to you. What is Vicky Safraz saying? Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Stay safe out there, Kenneth. Thank you very much, Mr. Vicky Safra. Steve Ali, Shelly Backus, thank you. Hey, Mahen, good night to you. Debbie Suku, Davy Blake.
Sheila Mangar saying all the way from Suriname. We are very lucky to have Rajaram in studio today. He was helping out a little bit too.
Well, I had him in the studio yesterday too, He was our help yesterday behind the scenes. Our dancer, Mr. Rajiv Nandalal. Debbie Suku, good night to you. Tom Singh, nice to have you on. Savitri Chan. Beautiful Maria Harris, I hope you're doing much better. And good night to each and every one of you. Sheila Mangar saying how you're doing. Shanti Narayan, good night to you. John from Queens, that is our famous John from Queens. Did you see our show last night from the famous John from Queens YouTube channel?
I look at him.
I think John was up all night editing my program, and he did such a fantastic job with Anthony Prasad. He edited everybody's performance so they could go back and look at it.
We are very lucky to have John from Queens doing our editing. And you know what? The good thing is that, a couple of weeks ago, I lost my show, but I was lucky.
A very good show, too.
Thank you. I was lucky that John from Queens captured it, and the next morning it was on YouTube. So thank you very much, John from Queens, and I know you have a lot more to say about John from Queens. I was supposed to print something out and read it off for him tonight, but always, guys, we are so blessed. Our Indian community is very blessed to have him in our community.
A Sicilian guy in our community, and he said today, SMS, when are you going to pick up all these clips I edit for you, because I have to take it down to QP channels. So that's how they put it on their channel. I have to upload it. All his editing goes on QP TV. Hey, Vimala, good night to you. Savitri Chan, thank you very much. The Auntie Una Prasad, the beautiful Auntie Una Prasad, how you been? I hope you've been okay. You are missing quite a few shows for us. Natasha Williams, good night to you. But then again, a lot of our friends are actually listening and they're not commenting, which I love, because they share their comments sometimes, but they're not in the chat box occupying it. They comment if we ask them.
Yeah, but it's good to have, we would like to know who's on too. That's a good thing,
So we always like when you guys comment and say, good night, how are you? And yes, we do care about you. How was your day? If you want us to read your comment, how was your day? It doesn't have to always be positive. We would like to say, Ken had a rough week. I had a good day. I had an okay day. I'm not sure about tomorrow, but we take it one day at a time. With what's happening around the world, one day at a time is okay, and one day at a time is just good enough. Let's talk about anxiety. I know now, with all that's going on, how do we cope with anxiety when you put too much on your plate? Because I know sometimes, and if I don't take a deep breath and step back, you could feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
Right?
You are correct, Shanaz, and sometimes I do get overwhelmed. But what happens when I get overwhelmed, I stop and take a deep breath and regroup myself. Like something I was telling Geeta the other day, and I put it on my Facebook page. I said, last week was 1 week I had to regroup myself and really put myself together, because all these things were happening, and I said, wait, before I get confused, let me stop, think, take a deep breath, and move on. Start.
Prioritize, put it in order, see what you could do now, what you have to do now, what could do later. Yeah, that's good. So guys, I know I get overwhelmed, can get overwhelmed, so we don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. Take it one day at a time. Debbie Suku, good night to you.
And Savitri Chan is saying she have a plumber in Florida. It's a good thing. It's good. She was having fun on our show last week.
Hey, good night to each and every one of you. Auntie Una says she's always quiet. Good night, good night.
Also, we have Sunita Gobin. Thanks for watching. Maria Harris is on. Vimala Dipchan. Good evening. And she's, what's her name is saying, she loves Savitri Chan. I know if you guys are in Florida area, always check her restaurant out. She has a very good, yes.
I filmed a couple of my shows. Actually, I was there. We did one of our concert there before. They were so generous to give us the venue. So thank you, and I know her hubby very well too.
Oh, really?
Yes, so Shanaz Musical Sensation was filmed down there, and the hospitality, their food is excellent.
And one of the things that really impressed me about her is that when I was sick, and I didn't know her at all before, but when I was sick, she was always checking up on me, how I'm doing, and always send good messages. So it's always good to have people like her in our chat box.
Right?
Yes. Also, I see we have Sunita Gobin, John from Queens is on, Shanti Narayan, good evening. There was somebody I was looking for. Shelley Bacchus, a very good evening to you too. Oh, I wanted to say hello to Tom Singh. Good evening, my friend. Good to have you on. Debbie Suku, thanks for watching. Vicky Safraz, always supporting, eh?
Very supporting. Hey, Rupa Prashad, good night to you. Natasha Williams, thank you very much. The famous John from Queens. Mick, hey, Freddie Mick, how you doing? Good night, good night. The beautiful Anita Diaram, good night to you. We are trying to stay safe. And if you don't see us next week or the following week, that is probably due to COVID. Just giving you guys a heads up, because we both work in the medical field. So I don't want to feel like I bring something to Ken's, or Ken will bring something, So for safety and precaution, if things do shut down, we will take a break from Chit Chat until further notice.
Yeah, probably, because the studio is at my place, sometime, I don't know if we can do any Zoom, but if not, Shanaz, sometime during the, on a Monday night, I can probably bring something to keep our space locked down, if you know what I mean.
Right. Hey, Naz, Ali, good night to you. Nalini, thank you very much. And you know what, it's so sad that I have 2 assembly men and women lined up to come on our program. So maybe we'll use the studio because it's of space-wise and everybody could have their 6 feet space. So, hey, Nalini, good night, good night. Thank you very much. Sisi Ramnarayan, how are you doing? Bisham, good night to you. Thank you, Mr. Zahir Shah. How are you doing? Kamla Paul.
Steve Ali, good evening to you, my brother.
And the beautiful Jean Amin, good night to you from Kissimmee, Florida. Long time no see. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. We want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. So if you want to hear about something, comment and we will bring it to you guys. If you want to share something, we are here. We're here to share your comments, share your day, share your future if we have to.
Also, we see Anita Diaram locked in. Davy Blake, good evening. Ivy Singh, a very good evening to you. Sissy Ramnarayan, good evening. Nas Ali, good evening to you. Also, yes, Anita Diaram, she's on again. Kamla Paul Balaram, very good evening to you, my dear. I know her all the way from Guyana. She is from Lenora. Zahir Shah, good evening.
The beautiful Indira Ramlal said she's enjoying the program. Good night, and take it safe, take precaution. That's what we're going to do. Hey, Bibi Gafoor, good night to you. How are you doing? Debbie Suku, thank you very much. And the beautiful Una Prasad said, yes, let's hope and think positive. So, you know what? If we all take precaution, we will get better and we will be able to conquer this COVID.
That's right. Susan Munisar, good evening, my dear. Jean Amin, good evening to you. Bibi Gafoor is watching. A very good evening to you. Our good friend Radha Totaram, always sharing our program. A very good evening to you. Let's see, Bibi A. Gafoor, yes, she's saying good night to Shanaz and Ken. It's good to have you on.
Good night, and good night, Lux Budram. How are you doing? Good night to each and every one of you. Thank you very much. So, Ken, how was your day? Aside from your weekend, did you take off today or you work?
No, I work, but I want to take a day this week to rest and regroup myself.
I am thinking the same thing. And then next week is Thanksgiving. So, as I was driving here, my sister said, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Because every Thanksgiving it's always, I'm the host. And then for Christmas and the holidays, well, we normally take turns doing things, right? So she said, are you doing Thanksgiving this year? And I'm like, I would love to. I'm always doing Thanksgiving. But who to invite and who not to invite, that's the question, We all could do Thanksgiving. Just keep it up and be cautious about it because, what I observed on Liberty Avenue the other night, which was Friday night, is that everyone is actually wearing a mask. But are they wearing it correctly? No, they're not. So they're still exposing themselves to COVID. And I might say I'm having a small gathering of 10, but it only takes one person from that 10 to contaminate all of the others, because we all look healthy, but did we take the test? No. If I take the test today, it might say I'm negative. I work in a hospital. Tomorrow you could get it from somebody. Does that mean you're still negative? Things can change within 24 hours.
So I'm glad that you bring this topic up, Shanaz, is that if I were you, I would just let this year pass because of this COVID. And we all could have it's a good time to be with our immediate family in our home. We can cook, we can eat. 1 year would not kill us. Stay away. This thing is deadly, as we all know. A lot of people died because of COVID-19. So, and as we all know that it's coming back, it's still here.
It's still here,
but
and it's raising every day. You look at the news, and that's because they're doing more testing, so they're finding results. Let's say you have 10 persons living at home. You could say all those 10 persons are negative, but do you know if they're negative? They didn't get tested. That doesn't mean they don't have symptoms. That doesn't mean they don't have the virus inside of them already. But take that 10 person, take them down to the lab, have them tested. Maybe all will come back positive. Am I right?
That's right. That's right. And Shanaz, like I said before, stay away, stay indoor, don't go out too much. And I'm trying to wear my mask, and it's so uncomfortable sometimes.
It is
because
uncomfortable.
8 hours in the day I have to wear my mask, and I really don't like it. But I keep it on. I'm getting accustomed to it, and we all could get accustomed to it.
Well, I try to make less outing on the floor, so I stay in my office where I could remove my mask and stay on the computer. So I have a lot of office work that will keep me off the floor, enough to remove my mask and still listen to Island Zone Radio.
That's right. I see Luxi Budram says, happy birthday to my princess Sarah from Mom, Luxi, Derek, Amraz, VT Shivani. And my good friend Marlin Jaikaran, watching all the way from Guyana. Good to have you on.
Hey, Mr. Lake Ryan, glad to have you on air with us. Marilyn Jaikaran, thank you very much. Hope you guys are sharing the link because, just chit-chatting or hearing someone talk about their day could help you cope with yours. So we don't have a fantastic every day. Some day rain, some day pours. But whenever it's sunshine, we share it with you. Whenever it rains, we share it with you. So don't feel bad that, today it's raining only on you. It rains different day on everyone.
We all have our day. And you're right. It's how we look at things too, Shanaz. And sometimes we can really get bogged down with some things in life, like what I had going on with me. But then we have to look at things positively. And when we look that we are alive, it helps us in life, if you know what I mean.
And I did reach out to you. I said, if you need help, I was expecting if you didn't get it, you will call me back so I could send you some help, send you some
thank you very much.
help.
Thank you.
But I know you make it try.
But luckily, after we finished talking, things went well for me. And I was so glad because, we couldn't take a shower. If we do, we have to hot water and take a bath. So that was crazy. and I'm not the kind of guy like that. I love to take showers.
That's
at least
right.
2-3 times a day, if you know what I mean.
I think someone just turned off the hot water pilot on you.
No.
Just so you would stay out of the shower. Good night to each and every one of you. You're watching Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, my beautiful friend Nasima Rohaman. Good night to you. How you're doing? The holidays will not be the same as always. Well, sometimes different is good. And what is same, we all accustomed to being around a big crowd, family, but let's focus on our immediate family. The folks are actually living under our roof for now, And everyone is saying a small gathering is okay, but a small gathering is not okay. It's killing me that I still can't see my niece, and she is probably a month old already. It's just a virtual thing, but I have to bear up with it. It's her safety, is my sister's safety, and I don't want to risk it.
And that's why we have to look at things.
So we
the
can't
safety.
be selfish and just think about, okay, I'm okay. I just go home, I took a shower, I sanitize, I'm here. No, just don't think about yourself. Think about others. You might be, giving someone, an elderly who have a problem, who have underlying conditions, the symptoms. So, hey, good night to Radhika. How you're doing? Kamini, good night to you. Rohani, how you're doing? Good night, good night.
It's good to see my friend Radhika Jaikaran, Paul.
And
good
Chico
evening, my dear.
is on. Good night to you.
The good thing is, Shanaz, our good friend here, Pamela Jeffer Sanchez is watching us. Good to have you on, my dear. The good thing, Shanaz, and I know that you talked to me earlier during the week that we're going to talk about this vaccine, which is very good. We have two companies. That's Pfizer, and it's called Moderna. And it's a great thing. The two companies, they are working on vaccines for the COVID-19, and the rate actually is 94.5% effective, which is very good. So both of them, they have millions of copies. I think one of them they will have like a 50 million vaccine for people. And I would encourage people to go and get the vaccine. What I learned too is that they will give it to healthcare workers first, which is a good thing to do, so that because we are out there, we are having all these patients, especially myself. I work with a lot of homeless clients, and who do addiction and so on. So I'm out there with them. So I have to really be very careful.
That's right. Our healthcare workers, first responders, are first preference in this. Where is Selecta Bolt? We have a tune for you. We started our program with this song. And we want you guys to listen to it, and especially the folks in Guyana. Listen to the words of Nishal B. We'll repeat that song again. The beautiful Jeem Amin, good night to you. Thank you very much. I really like that you guys are treating this COVID seriously. Some people act like it's nothing. It seriously is life-threatening. And if you're wearing your mask under your nose and you're not covering your nose, you're wearing it improperly and you still, subject yourself to getting the virus. Barty Ramcharan, how are you doing, sir? Good night to you. Chico, thank you very much.
It's good to have our friend Iserdine on.
Hey, good night to the folks in Enmore. Good night to your beautiful wife, Sita, your two loving sons, Sachin and Kishan, down in Enmore, coming from Chico. Hi, from.
As I just captured me by Una, and I'm going to want to read what she's saying. Una says that she is a safe person to be around. I have the antibodies. So happy. So let me dig into this a little bit.
And we talked about antibodies last week. If you could volunteer and donate some of your antibodies, that's awesome. Can have a lot of antibodies also. So if you know someone suffering from COVID and they need some plasma.
So Shanaz, I'm so glad that Auntie Una, she write this piece here, that she have the antibodies and people don't have to worry about her. You could be a carrier of the coronavirus. So while you have the antibodies, you're not going to get it. However, you could still have the virus on your hands. You could still have it inside of you, but you would not get sick. You know what I'm saying? So you still have to be very careful and mindful of what you're doing. You could be a carrier of this virus.
Remind them again, how could they be a carrier if they're having the antibodies?
You would not get sick if you get the antibodies, but if you are walking around, you touching things, then you have it on your hands.
You're exposing it to others.
That's right, you're exposing other people. So it's still good to, and then it's still good to go with all the precautions.
Washing your hands,
right.
Sanitizing, wearing a mask. Bertie Ramcharan, good night. She said, Ken, you're looking good. Stay safe. Well, maybe because he's trying so hard that COVID took a really good turn in him. Told he lost 20 pounds. And I said, Ken, keep the weight off because being obese is an underlying condition.
That's right. As you guys, some of you may know, I had the COVID-19 and I was diagnosed with it in April, I think the 7th. And I was very sick. I was short of breath. I lost 20 pounds. My urine was so dark and was like my lungs was blood coming out of it. So I have to tell you guys, it's something very serious.
And no one want to be in his position. No one want to be in bed. And that's the last thing you want to be. If you're feeling any symptoms, you want to be active. You want to be up and about. And Selecta Bolt is ready for that tune. We have him up there. Hey, Mubina Dalo, good night to you. Debbie Sunny, good night. The beautiful Una Prasad.
Oh, my next door neighbor, Debbie Sunny Roberts, she's watching and she's saying good night.
Chandra Pachu, good night to you. Shami, Anthony, good night. Sandra Prasad, thank you very much. Rajiv, our dancer, good night to you. Bertie Ramcharan, let's rock and roll with Mr. Bolt. Thank you very much for tuning in to Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. Listen to the song, listen to the words, and remember to share the link. Let's go.
Everybody come join with me. Say it's not right alongside me shall be. Listen for the children in every country. One people, one nation, one destiny.
Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Say it's not right and me shall we singing together.
Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser.
So it's not right and me shall we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse with children, them don't hit with children, them don't cuss with children, them don't use with children, them abuse with children, them don't abuse with children, them.
Children in Guyana face it hard. They have to work and provide, oh my God. Our children in Guyana face it hard. They Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayana and shall we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them. Don't cuss with children, them. Don't use with children, them. Abuse, don't abuse with children, them. Don't hit with children, them. Don't cuss with children, them. Don't use with children, them. Abuse, don't abuse with children, them.
Sure they follow the anthem and the rule. Hold their hands as we carry them to school. Make sure they follow the anthem and the rule. Education is the key to success. Give it to children and make them progress. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayana and shall we singing together. Our children is the future of Guyana. They are the doctors and the liars of the future. The keyword education make them wiser. Says Narayana and shall we singing together.
Don't hit with children, them. Don't cuss with children, them. Don't use with children, them. Abuse, don't abuse with children, them.
Don't abuse our children, them. They are the future of the nation. BKVJ Production.
That song was done in Mr. Bounty Sing Studio, BKVJ Production, Nishal B. Good evening, good evening. And I love an artist, especially the ones from Guyana, who love to sing about positivity and, you know, awareness to things. And Nishal B is a very, very awesome guy, awesome singer. Check him out on YouTube. That is Nishal B. And he's also an editor. He's trying to do music videos and writing for all his songs. Mostly it's all his songs that's, you know, written by him. Good night to each and every one of you. Let's read that comment we pinned there. Good night to each and every one of you.
That's right. I see Datalin Singh watching all the way from Canada, and she is from Lenora. Good evening to you, my dear. Thanks for watching. I see Miss Bazil. Thanks for watching. She's always pleasant and always send good messages. Veronica Jaglal, good evening to you, my dear. Where is the bad boy and the bedroom bully tonight?
You know, wherever Veronica is, he's going to show up.
You think
right?
so?
He's going to show up 5 minutes later. You'll see Apache Warrior. Sandra Prasad, good night to you. Let's read that comment by Lucretia Prasad.
She says, antibodies does not prevent a second infection. You must still protect yourself and defer the experts on this subject. Also, I'm so glad that you bring that up so that I can dive into it, and Shanaz Ken too. Because what happened from what we heard, studies, you can have the antibodies just for 3-4 months.
You lose it. And you know, we do antibody testing every 3 months. So January, it's annual for everyone, right? We'll do a uniform antibody testing on all the employees, all the patients, and there comes again. And 3 months later, you could lose your titers, which means you need a hepatitis B shot. So they need booster. You might go on a 4 series. If it's less than 10, we put you on a series. So every couple of months, your immune system changes, and what can we do to keep our immune system at a good level?
You know, one of the things that Shanaz I've always tell people, and now I learned to write that every day in my nurse's note, is to advise your clients to always eat a balanced diet. Always add a lot of vegetables, fruits, and nuts in your diet. A lot of times we like to eat a lot of meat, beef and pork and so on, but these are not the healthy things. Try to eat as much green vegetables like kale, bok choy, or how you call it, bok choy.
And also exercise, being able to move your body. You know, you don't have to run a marathon. You don't have to go to the gym. Light exercise, sitting down all day. If someone pays me to sit down all day, I am tired. You don't know how antsy I am on Tuesdays and Thursdays when I'm in the courthouse, just sitting down. I'm not used to sit down for more than half an hour. Then I'm going to be bothered and I have to go take a look at somebody. The doctor will come and we'll have to make rounds in the whole unit, you know. I just walked in this morning like 11:30, and then the doctor came and he's like, I assume she's not here as yet. And she said, my assistant, no, she is here. I was early.
Oh, really?
So we had to make rounds. The minute I walked in, I didn't pick my phone up. I didn't open the computers to check my email. But it's good to be active, walk around, you know. If you're sitting at a job or your desk for 4 hours, that could lead to other problems, your lower limbs, pure circulation.
Right.
So it's important to move around. You don't have to have a job to be, you know, let me just get up and water the plants. Let me just get up and do the dishes. Let me just get up and walk around the yard to, you know, do something. But it's important to stay active.
One of the things that I do, Shanaz, you know, I work in a building with 6 floors. So sometimes I will take the elevator to the 6th floor and I'll walk downstairs, or I'll walk upstairs and walk around the whole building.
Wow. And you know, Ken, a really great show that I'm watching right now is the night shift. Not because of the guys. I mean, there are good looking guys there. So it's a night
Wait,
shift.
were you watching the show for the good looking guys? All right.
And the medical practice that they do, you know, they do CPR and everybody, they check you out and all the girls and everything. So you want to watch a good show, medical show, to see what's happening in the hospital for real. It's the night shift. You will enjoy that because it shows you what's urgent, what they take as urgency walking through the door, emergency cases, and how they tend to you while you're in the hospital.
You know, Shanaz, when I was working at North General Hospital, I had my share of, when I see patients stop breathing, they're not breathing, and I'm jumping in, pumping their chest so that they could breathe, you know.
You know, it's dangerous because our patients, they're on this dialysis chair, so if something goes wrong, like you're choking, which is a no eating policy we have because,
Right.
you know, we have to take you off the machine, take you off that chair, put you flat on the ground to give you CPR and before 911 comes. And what I don't like is that they always send the fire department before they send paramedics. You have to refer that you need paramedics before. That's how they will take it urgently.
Absolutely.
So guess what? Guess who decided to join us on air?
Who?
Somebody that I said 5 minutes, it will be on air.
Who's that?
Apache Warrior.
He's here. But, you know, Apache is a good guy. I got to tell you, I get to learn about Apache and his wife, and I'm glad that we have them on our team, and they're always supportive, and I'm certainly sure in the future, if we need their help, we can count. And I now understand why, since I met you the first time, you've always told me that, you know, Ken, Apache is my friend for 30 years, and I had the experience with him and his wife this week, and, you know, I feel good knowing that I have them on. So thank you, guys.
Thank you there very much. Hey, Sheila Backus, good night to you, the famous John from Queens. Who needs a night nurse?
Hey, the night nurse is right here.
Akash, good night, how are you doing? Good night to each and every one of you, the beautiful Jean. Amen, good night to you. Since I moved to Florida, I'm walking at least 4 miles a day. Wow,
Beautiful.
Jean, congratulations, thank you. You know, I always meant to have a smartwatch where we could measure our steps, take steps. But you have your phone. I'm not carrying my cell phone with me all the time. I leave it at my desk. But measure your steps is so important. And, you know, that's part of being healthy, heart health.
Yeah, and I'm glad you see this. I'm glad I'm picking up things from you too, Shanaz, and we have this going. Harish, thanks for watching. And you just said just now that you know about exercise, and I want to put in my piece. You know, you don't have to run around the block. You can exercise for half an hour a day, 5 days a week. If you can't walk for 30 minutes one time, bust it up to 2 times. In the morning, you walk 15 minutes. Then in the evening, you can walk another 15 minutes. And that would work good for you, if you know what I mean.
Especially if you're having knee pain or hip pain, it's important that you could do at-home exercises like do leg lifts, elevate your legs. You know, in the courthouse, we have often breaks because we do have some elderly on our case. So they give you breaks to just walk around, which is important for your muscles. So it's good to be active. Rishi Budham, good night to you. Mr. Kumar, how are you doing? Harold Kumar, good night to you. The beautiful Veronica, good night, good night. John from Queens, Lucretia, thank you very much.
Akash Dayal, good evening. And Harish, thanks. He said, beautiful show. Thank you very much. And, you know, it's always good to get a good compliment sometimes.
Mobina Dalu, how you doing? Chico, good night, good night.
It's 9 o'clock.
And not forgetting the famous guy from Florida. His wife is a singer. He has a beautiful daughter. Anybody come to mind? Mr. Dale Moti. Good night to you and your beautiful family. And we appreciate all of you being here on a Monday night to Chit Chat. Chit Chat is coming to you by Shanaz and Ken on Island Zone Radio with you in mind. If you would like to talk about something, we love to read your comments. Keep them coming.
And it's good to have Ona Prasad on. She said she walked 13,000 steps yesterday. That's why she's looking so
That's
marvelous.
right. She is fantastic, looking fantastic. Hey, Anil, good night to you. Good night to all the folks in Rose Hall Town. I'm coming down to Rose Hall Town. I'm coming to Hush. That's the new nightclub, right? Hush. Hey, Natasha Williams, good night to you. Happy birthday to Trovini. Good evening to you from Parika. Greetings are coming from your 4 children, Andy, Alex, Amit, and Alina. Good night to you. I say, well, the quadruple A's. Good night to each and every one of you. Enjoy your birthday coming from your beautiful kids. Indira Jaffarali, good night to each and every one of you. How was your day, guys? What did you do? Annie Sudas, how are you? Sandra Prasad, thank you. How was your day? We want to know what you did today, because it's important to be active and do something. I will feel so unappreciated of myself if I don't get some task accomplished per day.
I like to do that too.
I have to get up and be active. Hey, Sonia Chanity, good night to you. And I have something coming up in December.
Also, Shanaz, let me give John from Queens says John from Queens fan page is open to everyone for posting community-related stuff like music and live shows, etc. You can go to www.facebook.com, John from Queens.
Not forgetting the beautiful Brooke Yelena is locked on. Good night, and I hope she's feeling much better.
I am certainly hope so. She has a very positive outlook, and that's a good thing. Sav Puran, good night.
And good night to Mr. Omar the Sugar. Wow, that's nice of you, Mr. Brooke. And Brooke, you know, we posted her pictures a few weeks ago, and when you think, and you don't want to think of COVID serious, when you look at her picture, of course it will change your mind. It will open your eyes to see, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be bedbound for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and I think she was intubated for 71 days, if I remember correctly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm so glad that she's alive. I'm so glad that she is doing well and she's recovering. The only bad thing is that she's not working. And if any one of you guys want to help her out a little bit and her husband because of the COVID, feel free to get in touch with me. Sonia Gaindalal, thanks for watching.
Our dear hardworking folks, her husband is in a real estate business, so we'll put his number up in there, and you could do him a favor if you're looking for a house or a rental property. Give them a call. That's how you help others when he could go back into his job and find a home for someone. Of course, he will feel so much more special.
That's right. And Shanaz, we didn't get to tell you guys that the virus cases topped 11 million in the United States over the week, 1 million of them recorded just the past week. The pandemic has killed more than 1.3 million people worldwide and more than 245,000 of them in the United States.
Wow. So when it thinks,
it's a tough piece of thing. We have to be very careful, guys, and that's why we are saying this. And also the song that we were talking about, I'm glad it came back to my mind. Treat our children good. They are the future of our generation. So please make sure you teach your children well.
That's right. Let's go with Selecta Bolt with a nice Bollywood number. Where is DJ Bolt? DJ Bolt is exclusively for the Ken Ramprasad show on Sunday. Then he doesn't get a break. He comes on Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken on Monday, and then with the Dancing Sensational for Thursday's session. And I think out of all the session, I'm learning him how to dance, so he might be liking that music better.
Really?
Yes.
That's good.
So it's good to know we have our DJ. We could always count on Selecta Bolt, guys. If you have a track you would like to get in, send it to me, and Selecta Bolt will play it on one of our featured programs. Let's go.
ओ हसीना हो नीलम परी हर गई कैसी जादूगरी नींद नैया पे पीछे ली है दिल में बेचैनियां है वरी ओ हसीना हो नीलम परी हर गई कैसी जादूगरी नींद नैया पे पीछे ली है दिल में बेचैनियां है वरी मैं बेचारा हूँ आवारा बोलो सब क्या हूँ मैंने अब किसको दिल में मेरे दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दिल में मेरे दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दिल में मेरे दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दिल में मेरे दर्द किसको दर्द किसको दर्द किसको Who's dancing? Listen, listen, dancing.
Crazy, crazy with your loving hand. When you touch me, I'm in ecstasy. Come on now, hold me, thrill me. I'll be yours forever, and baby, you can never meant to be.
असली खुशी गुलपोशियों का मौसम था अंबर का भी सरगोशियों का मौसम था असली खुशी गुलपोशियों का मौसम था अंबर का भी सरगोशियों का मौसम था कैसा जुनून ख्वाबों में यंगे मन में था ना मैं कहूँ क्या मेरे बाद बनने सारा इश्क जाता तू ताप तापता तू फिरता हूँ मैं लंदन पेरिस न्यूयॉर्क एलए सैन फ्रांसिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को Good night, Katie. Let's go. लम्हा लम्हा मानो की फरमाई थी लम्हा लम्हा झूरत की आसमाई थी लम्हा लम्हा अरमानों की फरमाइश थी लम्हा लम्हा सूरत की आसमाइश थी अपने करम गिर गिर के मुझसे बरसाता अपने करम बरसा तो कब से बरसाता फिर सुन हुआ ओ मेरे सनम दिल खोर गया मुझ छोड़ गया जो पिछली महीने दी जब जिसको दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को ओ हसीना हो नीलम परी कर गई कैसी जादूगरी नीलैया के पीछे मिली है दिल में बेचैनियां है बरी मैं बेचारा हुआ आवारा बोलो समझाओ मैंने अब किसको दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दिल में मेरे दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को दर्द डिस्को Thank you guys. Keep sharing that link, sharing that love. Thank you.
Now, Ken, can you guess who's the singer?
That's
Mr.
the man,
Bolt, can you-
Anthony Prasad.
Of course, and we do have the video for you guys. You saw it yesterday, and some of it we got blocked out on Facebook due to content. Hopefully, it'll come back pretty soon. But that's Mr. Bollywood. And listening to him at first, I didn't know it was him until it gets in the program when we could hear him saying, "Get ready to dance." So, Mr. Bollywood did a fantastic job yesterday, and I thanked him on Facebook. But it's always good to show your appreciation for those who make a difference in your life. And every time I call upon Anthony, he's always there. The beautiful voice of Sunita Singh. She's the first time you're probably hearing her.
Yes, yes.
She is awesome also. And how was Michael Jackson?
He did a good job too. I was very proud of the choices you had on stage. They did a fantastic job, you know.
That's right. And I have something big and good coming up in December also. You guys never know who the cast will be. If you would like to be on the program, just hit me up. And I'm wondering, seeing that you're such a big fan of Mr. Apache Warrior, if I should have him do a guest appearance.
Absolutely. I would say 110%. Let him bring it on.
Bring it on, Mr. Warrior. So December something big is coming up. Is it Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell?
I wonder if Veronica is haha by Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. I wonder what the haha mean. Anyway.
Mr. Rudy Ramatar, fantastic job earlier on the Island Zone page. And I was locked on at work, and I could hear the change of music So then I decided to open up my Facebook to see which DJ came on Island Zone Radio. That's how I'm aware of the changes or someone new going on the radio, because I hear the change of music. And it was DJ Rudy Ramutar all the way from Canada. And we're so happy that we have DJs from around the world. We have 4 of them from Toronto, 1 from England, and a couple from New York. So, hey, good night, good night. Rudy Ramutar, Michael Jackson. That's right. Check out my Facebook. See the pictures. We had a ball. And that was one of the nicest shows I had. And, you know, I opened up the entire studio. We had so many people down there. Food and drinks and music. What else you need? Good company, good music, and food.
That's right. Also, we have the beautiful, we have the man Arvinda Kedarnauth. It's always good to.
Underground sound.
He is such a Shanaz. I tell you, I get to talk to some of these guys. He's such a kind guy. This weekend, he helped me out with something, and so I'm so appreciative. I'm going to tell you off air, but so much. Thank you so much, my brother. You're always a kind soul. Lalita Roberts, a pleasant good night to you too. My good friend Lorraine Stoll of Medics from Guyana. She's now retired. Chandra Lal, good evening to you. Farouk is watching us. Thank you, Girly Prasad. Good to have you on. Let's see, Freddie Mack. I work as a doorman in Manhattan, and I come into work early and walk 17 flights of stairs 5 days a week.
That's
a
good. Your
good
heart
thing.
must be in very good condition. And guys, it's important to eat healthy, as we are always talking about. Your health is your wealth. If you're taking your vitamins, eating, sleeping, and eating the right food, the food that's actually good for you, whole food and grains and nuts, walnuts, Apache walnuts, you know, you will be fit. And if you're fit, you could fight anything. Also, take your flu shot because it's a booster to your immune system.
Also, Mohammed Ishmael, a very good evening to you, to my brother. Good to have you on. You know, Shanaz, and you're right. Also, this vaccine that we're going to get for this COVID-19, the coronavirus, is going to be two shots you're going to get. One, you're going to get it initially, then you will have one another month or so
later.
after, which you will have to take. It's a good thing
So
to
guys,
take.
before Ken give away all the information on the vaccine, we want to know what you know about the vaccine, because it's important to get the right information before you make up your mind. So always, when it comes to your health or your kids or your family, always speak to a professional, because we can always get misguided. Oh, that vaccine is for something else. They're giving you, you know, and get it the wrong way.
Yeah, before I want to dig into that, but I see Natasha Carrington watching us, I think from Antigua.
Antigua.
It's always good to have her on. Shanaz, you know what? I'm not the guy who like vaccines.
But I want to hear from our audience out there what they know about this vaccine, and how many of them, before we convince them to take it, how many of them want to take it on their own.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to say. You're
So
right.
we want to hear your feedback. Vicky Ramgulam, how are you doing? Kamo Prasad, good night to you, the beautiful girly Prasad. I know Selecta Bolt have girly song on the ones and the twos. Natasha Williams, good night to you. Rohani, good night, good night. And if you're missing your name, guys, please comment again.
Bobby, it's good to have you on. Lalita Roberts, good evening to you too. Radha Totaram, she says, awesome program. Thank you very much.
Sonia Chandani said, I'm stuck at my desk job. Unfortunately, will make often walks, you know. Sometime when you have this much paperwork, and I was so annoyed at my assistant this afternoon. I thought she was leaving, so I didn't give her a task. I came back from lunch at 3:30. That's when I was eating, actually. I came back from lunch, and I thought, okay, she might leave at 4, so I didn't give her a thing to do. We sat down, and I was working, and she's talking to me for 2 hours, and I didn't realize the time, and she's just sitting there. I am working, and I look at my desk, and I'm like, you know, if I know you were going to stay that long, I would have given you that stack of paperwork to go through.
Yeah, you know, Shanaz, I get a lot of paperwork too. I have 60 clients that I have to file their paperwork sometimes in the office.
And
I hate it.
It's important to do depression screening. You know, oftentimes, and this is something I'm going to bring to our head of department, because I think every job needs a social worker to counsel, a counselor to speak to their employees. What do you think?
It's a good thing to do, Shanaz.
You don't know
Always.
what someone is going through in their home, and then they will bring it to work, and then it becomes overwhelming at work. So you need to know that your employees are safe.
That's right, that's right. I get taken away by Onika, Auntie Una. It's always good to have her on too. Today is Vimala's birthday. We want to wish Vimala happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Vimala.
God bless you. Eh? Are you looking hot? You
John
are watching.
from Queens is doing a lot of walking, but he's also part of a John from Queens walk is walking to McDonald's, walking to Burger King. So he's so funny. He'll take his daily walk and he'll end up somewhere eating
A
unhealthy.
big burger, right? Yeah, he says he's taking his zinc pill too. That's a good thing.
He wear his face mask, he washes his hand and sanitize, and he's doing all the right things, and it's important to stay active. So we're so proud of you, John. We're a little bit jealous because you're retired. You could do whatever you want. You could wake up thinking it's Sunday. You could wake up thinking it's
Every day.
Monday. Every day is Sunday, you.
Natasha Williams, a very good evening to you. Kamu Prasad, Vicky Ramgulam, thank you very much for watching the show. Girlie is saying she's laughing. Yeah, your good friend Sonia Chandani is on. Shami Anthony, good evening. I see Apache is having a good time. Your good friend Joe Jaglal is on
Hey,
too.
Mr. Joe, good night, good night. Thank you very much. Joe was our testing guy when we wanted to go on that Zoom live a few weeks ago, actually last Sunday, because there's so much we want to get done, and we decided to do it on Zoom. Hey, Girlie Prasad, let's read Girlie. She said, I'm not going to give the vaccine. She's getting the vaccine.
That's
And
right.
the beautiful Una Prasad said she's not getting it either. Why are we not getting it? Let's read Bobby.
Bobby, he says it's 90% trial proven. It's still on phase 3. You're taking a
taking a
chance.
chance.
But you know what? And I want to talk about that a little bit because I was very sick with COVID-19, Bobby.
But Bobby, I interview a couple of my co-workers in the kitchen this afternoon because they're nurses. They're the one administering these medications
Right.
to everyone. So, they took out a protein shake for a patient. She didn't take it, and I took it. I said, well, if you don't want to feel better, I'll take it. I'll feel better, And I asked them what's their opinion, how many of them are actually going to take the COVID vaccine. And I was surprised that they're nurses. They're saying, no, I'm not taking the vaccine unless it's mandatory to return to work. So,
Well, Shanaz, I am the guy who doesn't like injection. I don't like needles, but I think this time I'm going to take the vaccine willingly and readily because I believe it's better to be alive than to get COVID-19. I nearly lose my life when I had it, and then we have learned so many millions, 100,000 people got the COVID and they died. So I would take the chance.
all right, I know it's been out there. I'm not going to be the first one to say it. Hey, Anil Badan, good night to you. Thank you very much, Mr. Deo Moti, the beautiful Nirmala, how you're doing. I'm sure many of you, including Ken, saw that post where a doctor was saying it's duplicating your DNA, it's
Right,
altering
yes.
your DNA, then they're going to have so many tracking devices on you.
Well, Shanaz, I still think that the
I am with
vaccine is
Sonia.
good.
Sonia said she's going to let the politicians take it first, and I'll do the same. When they go for it, I will go next. But until then, Chandrila, good night to you. Continue, Ken. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to take the vaccine because how I was sick, I was short of breath. I didn't know at one time if I was going to die or not, if I'm going to be able to breathe again. So I will take the chance. Shanaz, we all will die someday or the other. We will go out of this world sometime or the other. And guess what? If I have to go that way, what can I tell you? My soul is at the right place. I'm ready for anything.
He want to go knowing that I got my COVID shot.
That's right.
Hey, Mr. Rishi Rambali, how are you doing? Chandrila, thank you very much. Chandrila said, I will not take the chance. So if you guys are for the vaccine, let me know. If you guys are against the vaccine, let me know. Geeta Singh, how are you doing? Good night to you. We're talking...
That's right. Apache said ladies first. Give the ladies the vaccine first.
Mr. Deo Moti said, we're not taking it until more studies are done.
Well, we all, we're adult and we have a right to do what we want to do. But I will encourage people to take the vaccine. That's how I look at it.
But should it be a global thing thrown upon us that you have to take it, or it should be your rights as a human being
I think
to decide you could take it or not?
I think it should
Should
be
it be
mandatory.
mandatory?
No.
No.
I think people should take it voluntarily. When you take things, when they demand that you take things, that's when there is a problem. People don't like that when you tell them because it's their body. We should be able to have a right to. On the other side, on the flip side, and that's why I like to be on the show. On the flip side of things, Shanaz, if you're taking care of human being and sick people, then you need to protect yourself first too.
Self-care is very important. Let's read Mr. Joe Jaglal's comment.
All of us need to do our part to keep everyone safe. I think we all need to take the vaccine. if we are in Ken's shoes, having gone through COVID, then anything to stay alive and safe is better than death due to COVID. I so agree with him. You know, Joe, a lot of people didn't know, and I didn't share that part on Facebook, that, you know, when I was walking down, when I was going upstairs every night, I would go upstairs and I would become so short of breath. In fact, my door is next to the bathroom. I would go take a shower and I'll walk
It was
back.
a task just getting to the washroom.
I
right?
could not even wipe my own skin. Gita had to,
Help you
wipe
up.
my
That's
skin and
because
so on.
your muscles were
So weak, yeah.
sore and in pain. So, if you speak to someone who suffer from the coronavirus, like suffer because of low immunity, not because, okay, they're positive, because being positive, I could have the symptom, I could have coronavirus, and Ken could have coronavirus, but it takes different roles. You can suffer from it more than I would suffer from it because my antibodies are stronger.
And then the other thing is, Shanaz, I have always said this. I learned in nursing school, we are all individually wrapped. We all individuals, and we deal with things differently. We would, if we get this vaccine, who knows, it will save us for a lifetime.
That's right. And a little precaution when it comes to getting the flu vaccine. A lot of people say the flu vaccine don't work because they take it today and they might get the flu tomorrow. You don't really get the flu, you get the symptoms, and it's building up in your immune system. So you might have a little fever, a little, flu-like symptom, but you're not getting the full flu. It's just the vaccine working into your system.
I'm glad you say that, Shanaz. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead, you could put in, and then we could read Auntie Una's comment on that.
There's different strain of the flu, and so that's why I never really took the flu vaccine, because I said you take it, you get sick too.
My
So I
employee
didn't want
said
that.
it's something that offered to everyone in our clinic. So, the vaccine came in and I went. It's not mandatory that I say you have to come and get the vaccine. I call employees, like 2 or 3 of them, to the office and we give them the medication. So I asked, how many of you like the flu vaccine? With a show of hands, I said 2 at a time, come in and get it. So now the follow-up, how many of you had symptoms of it? And they said, yeah, I had some fever, I had some coughing, but those are just symptoms. You're not getting the full effect of the flu. It's preventing you from having worse.
Also, Shanaz, I want to say that when you get this vaccine for the coronavirus, you will experience some fatigue, muscle ache, and the injection site, you will get some pain there, which is minimal pain.
Right.
And you could treat that with some ice,
So you might have symptoms again, flu-like symptoms. So I always said, I actually remind another employee, I said, Friday is our day. That's our day to take the flu shot. So, that's how we keep 2 at a time. So we focus on our symptoms also. And let's read John. I'm sure John from Queens have a comment up there.
Let me see what John says. The government has no right to make the business close to go bankrupt. And now in New Jersey, they say you can't have more than 10 people in your own home. The people are letting the government take away their rights.
And the more you give them your rights, the more they will take from you. So,
Shanaz, I think that we as human beings, we are not listening to. And
we're
we
like
can curb
children.
this.
I feel like we're like children. Some of us really take this seriously. And some of us, you need to insist and rub it in, and it's not sinking into the level where you need it to go, right?
That's right.
So these are the people who are making it worse for others because they're the carriers. And if the government don't do what they have to do, it will become worse.
And we blame the government sometime, and I'm not saying this about anybody's comment on our chat box, but Shanaz, we sometimes blame the government because they're not doing enough to help people. And as we see from experience from a couple of months ago in New York, what the government was doing, locked down a lot of things, and we know it went down. New York was doing very good, more than most states.
I just feel like they reopened it too soon. And everybody, this is something I have to talk about. Everybody's saying they're doing so bad. The restaurant in Queens, I work, whether I work 20 hours or whatever, I get home, you still have to cook and clean and do your own work. All the restaurants on Liberty Avenue, the lines are around the block for food. On a Sunday morning, guys, on a Saturday morning, why are we getting up and have to buy food when you have a kitchen? How are we going hungry? How are we saving up our money? Prepare your own breakfast. Did you leave your home this morning or yesterday morning to get roti from Liberty Avenue?
I am very privileged to have my wife cook me or make me
Home-cooked
something.
meals, everybody wants to know, and I believe we'll have a financial guide just to come in here and say how and prioritize what's important for us. Not because we have a lot of money today means we should go out and spend it. Use it wisely and use it on necessities.
That's
I don't feel like you guys, maybe they work hard 5 days a week. So Saturday they decide, I'm going to treat myself to breakfast. We always have to look at things differently. Maybe they want to treat themselves to breakfast, treat their family.
I want to read, Sonia Chandni says, can we please talk about folks who know they have the COVID and they are not saying anything to the people they are around because they are afraid to speak up? Please, if you know you have the virus, do not, the screen jumped just now, do not, please, if you know you have the virus, do not put other people at risk. The goal is to contain the virus, not spread it. Absolutely correct. And one of the things is that if you know, you suspect you have the virus, you need to stay home, isolate yourself, and you can go out and do a test to make sure that you are clear.
And Smita Kumar, good night to you, my beautiful friend. How are you doing? Una Prasad said, I have been taking the flu shot for over 14 years now, never felt any symptoms, but some folks are a little allergic to eggs and some of the ingredients in the flu shot, so it's good to know what's in the vaccine. Also, if you guys are going for an X-ray with contrast, without contrast, it's good to ask your doctors all these things because you might be allergic to contrast, which you have to get 3 different medications to work through your system. 24 hours before you could go get a CAT scan.
That's right. I see the beautiful Vimala Prasad on. We want to say on behalf of Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, happy birthday to you. We pray that God will continue to bless you and you look fabulous.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Jagalal. Cook your own food because it's so much healthier. A lot of restaurants I go and I observe the oil, and my stomach is very sensitive because I use very little oil at home. I don't believe in deep frying stuff, steaming, boiling, less fat, less saturated fat. Mr. Deomoti, good night to you. And all that oil that the restaurant is cooking with, it's making your stomach. You're not used to all of that.
Sabita Kumar, a very good evening to you, my dear.
I read Auntie Una's comment.
What she said. I clap roti for Diwali since COVID-19. I never eat out.
Thank you, Auntie Una. She's, and Auntie Una is a hard-working person. She works her job and then she gets home, but she still make an attempt to cook. If we don't teach our children, our boy children and our girl children to be, prepare stuff for themselves, how are we preparing them for the world? I know everybody at work, and I tell one of the girls this, because for breakfast she'll order, lunch she'll order, and dinner she'll order food. I say, how are you expecting to save some money if you're going to be ordering 3 meals a day for 7 days a week?
Absolutely, you're right. Hey, you talk about that, Shanaz. Wait, I'm talking the word absolutely right. We have some viewers in Wisconsin, and they wrote me and said, when you say the word absolutely, they love it, and they get a kick off of this.
Absolutely, especially when Wisconsin cheese are so good.
Yes. So, good evening, guys. You're watching Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken here on Island Zone Radio and on Facebook Live.
The beautiful Vimala Prasad, happy birthday. I believe she deserves a song because she's a wonderful friend and a supporter. She's always sharing our program, and she's always, she stands for something good when it comes to women. Saying no to domestic violence, saying no to abuse. Stand up for yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, your spouse will never respect you.
That's right. Let's go.
Selecta Bolt and the ones and the twos. We're going to have a birthday song going out to Vimala, saying happy birthday to you. Mr. Deo Moti, how is it in Florida? We're hoping to come down to Florida pretty soon. This lockdown, we really have to try a little harder as humans, as brothers and sisters, to contain ourselves and stop the spread. If you know someone have the coronavirus, always warn the people around you, or keep your mask on. You don't have to go around saying you have COVID, but keep your mask on so you contain it from spreading.
Let's go.
Rafi B to you, Vimala, happy birthday.
बार दिन ये आए इससे पत्ते सुन पाते बार दिन ये आए इससे पत्ते सुन Let's gather to cut the cake. Cheers to your life, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to you. Another great year for you. Happy birthday to
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Party in the air. It's your birthday, so let me party. Let's gather to cut the cake. Cheers to your life, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to you. Another great year for you. Happy birthday to
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Gather around and start to clap. Clap, clap the hands and 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 clap. Clap, clap. We pray for health, strength, and positivity. All the blessings to you. We hope for long life and prosperity. All the blessings to you. We wish you greatness in everything you do. All God's blessings to you. There is no one like you. We love you. Party in the air. It's your birthday, so let me party. Let's gather to cut the cake. Cheers to your life, let's celebrate. Happy birthday to you. Another great year for you.
Well, from Ravi B and Chit Chat to Shanaz and Ken, going out to beautiful Vimala. Happy birthday to you, Vimala. And if you're celebrating your birthday, happy birthday to you from Shanaz and Ken. And hey, Sharon Ramnath, good night to you. Bobby, I will let Ken answer that question. So it's okay for us Guyanese, we've been saying curry chicken, and the Trinidadian says, no, Guyanese say curry chicken.
We gotta say it's curry chicken.
No, Trinidadian says curry chicken. Guyanese says chicken curry. Now, which one is correct? Because I'm so accustomed to saying curry chicken.
It's curry chicken, Shanaz.
Because no one says chicken jerk. It's jerk chicken. Right? So guys, if we know we're wrong, the best time to correct ourselves, we don't want our kids to learn that we're saying, okay, chicken curry.
It's curry chicken or curry pork.
Say it the right way so they will learn it, and moving forward, we wouldn't have this in the next generation of saying, is it curry chicken or chicken curry? We always said Trinidad, say it the right way. So let's go with that. And it's jerk chicken, and it's stew fish, not fish stew.
That's right, that's right.
Right?
You are watching Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken here on Island Zone Radio. So what's next on the agenda, Shanaz?
Happy birthday to Triveni Love. Happy birthday coming from Natasha Williams. And I know John from Queens have a happy birthday there from the Hitman. I'm sure you haven't seen Hitman on stage. He is an awesome, awesome entertainer. Chandralal, good night to you. And she said curry chicken. Shami Anthony, good night to you. Alvin from Underground Sound. Anita Diaram, curry chicken. I think curry chicken is the winner today, guys. Curry chicken. So how many of you actually made curry chicken over the weekend? Actually, not a lot of folks, because it was Diwali, and I went to my beautiful friend for, it was the first time ever I was there to observe the ceremony and the prayers, and I was so honored that, life is like a learning. Every day we learn a lesson, and I was there observing her prayers with her family. I lit a diya, and then we all had some sweets.
Yes.
It was so good, and I had 7 curry too, but I can't eat 7 curry one time. I have to eat 7 curry 7 times. So yeah, 1 curry per day.
Devika Devika brought some good 7 curry, and guess what? Girl, this is the first time I eat some nice parsad. I've never tasted something good like this. I don't know what kind of
parsad is. We have to make some more parsad, and we have to give it out to all the viewers out there.
Good evening to Salman Rahman. It's good to have you on. Natasha Williams, she's saying happy birthday, Lal.
And Salman Rahman says curry chicken also. And John from Queens said he always order curry chicken, but tell him to keep the chicken and just give him the curry.
We're getting a mixed review. Some people saying curry chicken, some people saying chicken curry. Whatever it is, I love some curry chicken.
Well, I mean, Guyanese say chicken curry, but they don't say chicken jerk. They say jerk chicken.
Also, if you're looking for a DJ in Schenectady area, you can always contact the man himself, Mr. Arvinda Kedarnauth.
The beautiful Sabita Kumar, good night, good night. So how can we boost our immune system, Ken? What can we do starting now? You know what? Drink a lot of water. You don't know how dehydrated your skin is and your body is. You know, so drink especially a bottle of water in the morning time. It's refreshing. It goes directly to your bloodstream and it feels so good. And what can you add to your water? Well, a strawberry, a lemon, something that makes it, when you think cucumber, when you think that, okay, pineapple slices, you know, tastier, they say water is the best thing on earth, but adding a strawberry to it, it just tastes so much better.
You know, some people don't like the taste of water by itself, so they would add, like, for example, myself, I would add a piece of lemon or a piece of pineapple inside, so it gives him that flavor, especially if it's a hot day.
Yeah. You could even add some blueberries. So blueberries, strawberries, and make it infused water. That's better water for you. And sleep. Sleep is very important. Hey, Rudy Matadine, good night to you. How are you doing? And let's read Apache Warrior comment.
Where you at? Let me see where you write. I couldn't see. Curry came from India, and the correct name is chicken curry.
Chicken curry. And John from Queens said he stopped eating jerk chicken because you are what you eat. And of course, he's not a jerk. So maybe I'm glad he took that off his menu.
Yeah. Also, Shanaz, we said earlier before, it's always good to eat a balanced diet. I like to get the vitamins and the nutrients from the food that we eat. So I always tell Gita, get some kale, some pak choy, bhaji, whatever you call it, and add that to your diet. Not too much meat.
And I want to give you guys a challenge out there. I know Auntie Una is always eating healthy. I want to put Apache Warrior to this challenge. I want you guys to wake up in the morning and have some fruits first. Have some fruits, and then for 1 week only, let me know next Monday in our program, if we're here, how are you feeling? How are you acting at work? I'm sure it's going to be more active, more happy, more full of energy.
It's good to see the man Freddie Mac on.
And Chandralal said, vitamin C drinks best. Lemon water is also good.
That's right. Freddie Mac, he says, isn't chicken curry chicken soup, not soup, chicken?
Chicken soup.
Yes.
Chicken soup.
Wow.
Okay. The beautiful Una Prasad. Good night to each and every one of you. Locked on to Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, the program that come with you in mind, wanting to know how you're doing, because wherever we are, we're hoping that you are doing awesome. And hey, awesome is sometimes good, but we can also say we're hoping you're doing fine, because fine is okay too.
That's right. It's good to have Rudy Kirpal on. He's enjoying our program.
Shrivani Lal, good night to you.
It's good to have John on. He said curry come from India, but more importantly, the beautiful women.
I think John likes the Indian woman more than curry. Mm-hmm. If you have to put curry on one and woman on one, John will choose a woman.
But I think John got an Indian woman too from Trinidad.
Yes.
You make me talk Trinidad like Trinidadian,
John likes some brown thing.
He know the blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, and he's a white guy, Shanaz, I said I'm going to ask you while I was reading. I know the government of Guyana actually want people from the United States and other part of the, Canada and so on, Guyanese from around the world to go back to Guyana since they get all this oil and so on. What's your take on that? Would you go back to Guyana?
They're inviting us to go back? Of
Yes.
course I'll go back. What they have to offer us if we go back? They're giving us some of this oil money.
Well, anywhere you go, you will have to work hard, Shanaz. So, it's a good thing.
Why are they inviting us? They want us to go back as resident to live in Guyana?
To live in Guyana and to also to invest your money that you have there. They said with Guyana now being one of the most attractive investment destinations in the world due to massive oil and gas discoveries, the government has begun taking active steps to make it easier for the country's largest diaspora to return to homeland. And they want to make things easier. They want to put the paperwork on the computer so that you can go ahead and fill out the
Fill out
forms
the
and so
form.
on, and you can fill them out. Also, that you can get some duty-free concessions in Guyana.
Well, I'm a citizen of Guyana. When I send my stuff, why do we have to pay so much VAT? Are they going to reduce that VAT?
I'm sure that they
Because
could work
especially
something.
when you're sending all this stuff, medical stuff, our pallets, which was so much pallets last year, got stuck at Muniswar Wharf because of clearance and the VAT. It was a hassle getting anything to Guyana. Hopefully, under this new government, things are changing because, again, we living abroad are still trying to help Guyana. And if they can't allow us or make that process easy for us, who will want to do anything?
That's right. According to the reports, the first-generation immigrants Guyanese in the diaspora today is estimated to be around 550,000 worldwide, not including our children and grandchildren.
Wow, I hope they're ready for all of us if we decide to go back. You know what?
Well, Shanaz, I've been living in the United States for over 30 years now. Well, as you and I know that we work with people who do commit suicide prevention, domestic violence, and so on. I would like to go back and do some work in those areas. I have to be a motivational speaker for the young children that's growing up so that they make the right decisions in life and they choose wisely in life.
Have a lot more health center and call center. But then again, if the country is doing well, everybody, mental health might be improving because they don't have to worry about jobs and security and housing and everything else. Sometimes it's like the domino effect. One thing go bad, everything goes down, and it starts with the economy. So if you have jobs for everybody, that's such a big relief because it's the father, mother, you could provide for your children. That's a stress relief.
That's right.
there.
And we know in the 60s that people start to migrate to different parts of the world from Guyana.
Because of opportunities, they move to America, the land of opportunities. So if you guys are here, I'm sure Americans are working hard. The folks in Guyana, they might say Guyana don't have a future, it didn't have opportunity, but folks in the United States, I have to applaud you guys. You work through snow. Sometimes your job doesn't stop because it's snowing outside. You still have to get up and shuffle that snow, dig out your car, and go to work. And then folks are saving up their money, sending it to the folks back home in Guyana. So now if you're sending money to our folks in Guyana, make sure they're using your hard-earned money wisely.
Absolutely. Also, Shanaz, there's another story that I was looking into where a woman was jailed for 2 years for trafficking ganja. She gets bail and pending appeal. She is the mother of 4 children. One of the things is that, Shanaz, I, as a detox nurse, what I'm saying is that I think they should have some leniency on this lady. What do you think? Rather than she have 4 children, should they really punish her in Guyana?
In Guyana, she was looking for a way out to provide for her kids. That's how I'm going to look at it. And now if you take her away from her kids, you could say mental health for, they're going to be suffering from mental health. Those 4 kids, you can see their future becoming anything from positive to negative. So, maybe you want to send her off with a warning. Maybe you want to give her some counseling.
That's right, because our children are 10, 14, and 15.
And a mother plays with her kids.
That's right. Shanaz, a lot of time, some people, I wonder why she did it. I know that from reports, her husband was treating her bad. He abandoned her. And
now,
so,
they didn't look for help when it comes to that. What did the government do to help her in that situation, right?
right. So, this is what happens here in the United States. I work in addiction, alcohol abuse, and so on, marijuana. Listen, and this is how I look at it. A lot of times we get so taken up about marijuana and so on, but did we know that alcohol actually is most dangerous
It's
than
worse than marijuana.
And
do you know that if you buy a substance from a guy walking the street, he's going to be labeled as a drug dealer because he's selling you narcotics. And Surendra was telling me, buying it, the same drug from the pharmacy, what are they? Are they not drug dealers too? They can't get in trouble because they're giving you the narcotics to use, but buying it from someone on the street, they are a liability. They are a drug dealer. So let's put them in jail, right?
So I really do believe that they should give this young lady, and also
leniency, look at it, warn her.
What happens, and I'll tell you what happened in the United States. If you commit crime, they catch you with any drugs and so on. What happens now is that the government or your state or whatever it is, the judges would send you to get treatment, to get help for yourself. Only if you continue committing crime or not getting help, then they jail you.
What if she wasn't a user, like she was just carrying this for somebody? And I see so many cases that, somebody asks you to carry a parcel for them, and I stopped taking anything to Guyana or bringing anything to anybody in America because of the same thing. You are afraid of them wrapping something in your parcel, and then you get innocently, you're at the airport, you got stopped, and they're calling you in for, pat down. Come on, Ken, let me pat you down. Everybody's looking at you. Oh my God, what is Ken bringing with him?
Yeah.
All that attention. I like to travel. I can't say luggage free because one time I carry so much stuff that I had to leave some of my clothing. I take so much stuff for Shabir's orphanage in Guyana, and I left all my clothing there. I was so happy with these kids' reaction, giving them all my clothing. They were teenage girls, and it makes them so happy that they got something from America. I actually took 2 suitcases of books. And I know everyone will say, why travel so heavy? Why have all that baggage? If I could take something to help somebody, I will do it.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Especially the kids in the orphanages,
That's right. I do the same to Shanaz. We're going to get another song and come back? Or
yes, Selecta Bolt, get a beautiful song here for our beautiful viewers, Shanaz and Ken, every Monday, Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken on Island Zone Radio, Sabita Kumar, good night you. I'm missing a guy, and he goes by the name of Fess. I haven't seen him fessing around or messing around.
He's probably busy. He's always spending time with his kids, so that's a good thing, and it's good as fathers. Also, Shanaz, while DJ is getting his song ready, I know it's International Men's Day.
Is it International Men's Day? They need a Men's Day. Well, happy International Men's Day to you, Ken.
Thank you. When we come back, we can talk about that a little bit.
And yes, it's good to honor yourself. As human beings, we do so much, and it's a great feeling doing so much. Hey, speaking on doing so much, the Queens Community Lions Club, we're doing a coat drive, and last night, as much as I came back from studio with our live show, I was exhausted, I was tired, but I had to go through my closet, so I came out with like 5 or 6 coats. And Leon said, he messaged me, Shanaz, I found some coats too. So if you guys have a coat or you want to donate something, donate it to us, the Queens Lions Club. We're going to be there picking it up, and hopefully a coat drive coming up pretty soon. Hey, Salman Rahman, good evening to you. The more you give, the more you get. That's nice. Thank you very much, Salman. That's my motto. I feel like, give and stop complaining. We all complain we don't have that much, but if we have a roof over our head, and we all have bills, so that's like the last thing we should worry. And don't worry about your bills, guys. Just put it away. When you get to it, you get to it.
Yes, I see. Kier Paul says we are down to earth. Listen, we want to be an example on the show. We want to be kind. We want to do good. We want to share goodness with you guys.
Bobby, thank you very much. Yes, and I believe Bobby wrote not a comment. If you eat too much of fruit, it builds up or gets acid
in your body, and you get gout.
So I know Ken suffered from gout, and he is managing that very well.
Well, Bobby, to be very honest with you, and I'm so glad that we're talking about all of this. Gout, yes, it's when your uric acid elevated. So, and you get that from eating a lot of internal organs of animals and so on, like kidney, livers, and so on. I've been lucky that in the past 6 years or so, I had 1 or 2 attacks. I am not eating too much meat. It's actually a lot of protein. But and when you get an attack, I eat a lot of blackberry or get the blackberry juice and so on. So I don't know a lot of fruits that would cause that really. Would cause the uric acid to be elevated. But what I know of is that you cannot eat a lot of like bloody stuff, internal organs like the liver, the kidney, and so on.
And some beans also.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Some beans raise it. So, and you do have homemade remedies that, if you feel like it's coming on, you're feeling a little...
It's very painful, and it starts probably from your big toe, or your joints and so on, but I'm lucky.
And those are inflammation building up in your joints.
It's like crystal building up in your joints, and like I said, it's very painful.
So DJ Bolt, let's have a tune. We'll be right back on Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken. Glad to be in your company on this beautiful Monday night. Hey Suraj, good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you. Shobha, how you doing? Good night to you from Toronto. Select the Bolts on his 1 and 2. Tomato, eggplant, and spinach.
It's good to have Siraj Ganesh online on the inbox. Go ahead, DJ.
है
guess who is the singer. That is the voice of our very own beautiful girly Prasad from the Sunshine State. And they say old is gold. How about that, oldies? Ken?
That's right. That's our Guyanese Kanchan.
That's right. Fantastic indeed. Tara Lady Thomas, good night to you. How are you doing? Hey, Mr. Muslim Javed. Have you ever seen Muslim Javed singing on Facebook?
No.
Well, he's a guy you have to see on our program in December. So we're going to be featuring Muslim Javed. Hey, Debbie Suku, good night to you. Shoba, how are you doing? Watching us from Toronto. Salman Rahim, good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you. If we miss your names, just keep commenting. And we are glad to be in your company on this Monday night.
Also, I see my sister Naomi Ramdas is watching. She's right here in Queens. My two sons are with her. Hey, Ken and Kevin, hope you guys are watching. Daddy, Bertie Ramcharan, yeah, he said cherry is number one for it.
For what? For
gout.
reducing
Yes,
gout.
right, reducing the uric acid.
Hey, Toto Ram Prasad, good night to you and the beautiful Naomi Ramdas. Thank you guys for tuning in. Good night. The first person I asked for is when I walked in is Ken and Kevin. I always look for them. So I hope they're doing fine. Good evening to each and every one of you. It's taking you down memory lane, one oldies at a time. And Sunita, sing good night. You Ken said you did fantastic last night and all the viewers love your voice. So yes, she is going to be featured on another round. She's always invited to the studio to do more, but she's a family person also. And I love, especially when it's COVID, you know, we're all taking it very seriously. Limit what you have to do.
That's
your
right.
surrounding, the people you're mingling with, and she's protecting her kids. So, guys, let's all be safe and protect our kids because, you know, we are their parents, we are their protectors. We have to make sure they are safe.
Good night to Toto Ram Prasad. He's watching from Guyana.
Guyana.
Ganesh Prasad. Good night to you too. Sunita Singh. Good night, guys, and all the lovely viewers.
Thank you guys for being a part of our Monday night. Let's talk with so many things happening around the world. It's sad, especially sadder when we're hearing what's happening in Guyana when it comes to domestic violence, chopping, gun shooting. We want to read about this couple.
Yeah, this one is interesting. I like to highlight, Shanaz was saying, Ken, you highlighted a lot of stuff about this. And it's sad. When I was reading this and before you came, Shanaz, I said, let me see if we can talk about this. And here it is, a young lady. She was 16 years old. From Richmond Housing Scheme in Essequibo Coast, Region 2. She was knifed to death by her 34-year-old ex-lover. Speaking with this publication, even as the family is still in shock, what happened to her father died a couple of years ago, and she was on the bed. She was crying for her father. And, you know, it's so sad in so many ways. How come this 16-year-old girl, and I'm sure she went with this guy who's 34 years old, because both of her parents died when they were quite young. And it's sad that this could be his daughter, 34 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Right, he's two times her age, but you know, sometimes we have to listen to the whole story or put ourselves in her shoe. We just can't jump to conclusion like, why would she go with an elderly guy like that, you know? She's still a young lady, she should be in school, furthering her studies, but everybody is not the same. Our fingers are not all equal, so I would like to hear more of that story, Ken.
And, you know, the thing is that the police found the guy in the back down with he had drunk poison, but he is still alive now, so that's a sad story altogether. He went into the room, the girl was in the bedroom crying for her father who died, I think, a year or two before that.
So she's still in mourning. She might still be in
yeah,
shock, a little
absolutely.
bit depressed, you know. It's not easy losing a parent or a child. Those are the closest knitted family might have. And I know a friend also who's suffering because no matter how much he's smiling, you know, deep down inside he lost his son, a handsome 30-something-year-old guy who had a bright future, you know, a doctor ahead of him. And it's not easy. You don't know how someone is coping, but it's also important, you know, maybe they don't have all that mental health helpline in Guyana, someone to talk to about it, because if he knew she was suffering with this or she can't cope with it or she's crying every day, reach out to someone, get her some help, because I think from all of this, of course, he might be tired of it too. Like he got frustrated at this point.
Well, one of the things is that she didn't want him no more. From reading the story, she wanted to go and continue school and to leave him. And that's when he killed her. And it's a sad story because, you know what, and that's why I've always tell young people, and we've always talked on this show, Shanaz, young girls and young boys, they need to go to school, especially young girls. Go to school, take your education, make yourself marketable in this world. And this is one of the things that she was trying to do after she separated from this guy and who she told that she's going to leave him. That's when he took the knife. I think they said it's a Rambo knife, went to the room and stabbed her all over the place.
Wow. Education is one of the assets you can have, and no one could take it away from you. And if you're planning on leaving someone, it might not be the best idea to tell them about it. You know, if you know the situation, you know he has a temper, don't tell him. Just pack yourself a runaway bag, keep it somewhere until it's a safe zone. And, you know, I know Ken helped someone out in this situation recently, and I'm sure she didn't call you or follow up, but when the person needed your help, you were an angel. You went there and helped them out of that situation. And it's a good feeling knowing that you saved someone's life, because you would have probably read it in the newspaper saying that, you know what, it's a murder in Queens, right here in Homeland Queens, that this is a tragedy. And of course you'll feel bad knowing that, oh my God, I could have made a difference. I could have saved her and I didn't. But you know what? You did a good thing.
Well, thank you, partner. You know, Shanaz, and one of the things that I've said, it's a lucky thing that I don't really look for this.
We don't look for gratitude from
and so
human
on,
beings. That's what we do.
because I could tell you there were so many stories that I have put myself into, and I know you said you got to be very careful how you get into these things. Even the Gita tells me, you know, you have to be very careful about all the people that you really help, that I have helped. You know, most of the times, you know, they don't call to say thanks, or
Things
they
can
just
always
leave
come
it like
back
that.
very bad, because she could just say one word to somebody who is very upset, very angry, you know, can't help me in this situation. He get me out, and then you're in danger. So it's always confidential. If you help someone,
Yeah.
to tell them, don't utter my name. Don't let people know that I'm assisting you.
Yeah, I've always tell people that though, don't let your partner know or your husband know that I'm coming there to get you or get your bag, or I'm going to do a drive-by, pick you up and drop you off somewhere. You know, I've always tell women, don't let them know that I involved, because, you know, I got my family. I don't want anyone to come and say, you know what, they're going to shoot me or any of these things.
Yeah, and it's good to assess that person, to know that they're stable enough that they wouldn't go spill, because you have your entire family and your future ahead of you. So you know what, sometimes it's good that you help someone. But if you ladies or somebody who's trying to be a part of the situation, trying to leave and exit a relationship, don't go about telling them about it. That's the wrong move she made. I mean, I'm sure he has a job. He goes to work. That's your chance to leave.
And, you know, as we're talking about this, Shanaz, one of the things is that when you see that you leave a man
Don't
or
go
a
back.
woman,
Don't go back.
don't go back. When you go back, we find studies have done where that's when you go in and
It's
get your
worse.
debt.
You're going back for your debt. You're
Yes.
going back. That's something that you ran away from, you're going back for. So don't look back. Hey, Sissy McBill, good night to you. Hernandez, good night, good night. Debbie Suku, good night to you. Radha Totaram, Salman Rahaman, Sunita Singh.
Hey, Joy, good evening, my dear. How are
The
you?
beautiful Joy Rambaran. You're late, but I'm glad to have you on. Our program is almost finishing up. It's a Monday night. It was a nice day in NYC. How was it where you are, and where are you locked on from? I know I would like to be in Florida right now, but we have to do what is right. And, you know, opening your house and your homes to international folks who's coming in from out of state where the COVID risks are higher, you should really think about it twice.
That's right. I see Chandra D. Singh is watching all the way from Canada. And as we went back to talking about COVID, guys, as we know that it's serious, it's back again, and we know that there may be another shutdown. There is no schools tomorrow. They have, actually in my son's school, there were like 3 or 4 people who was diagnosed with COVID-19. So guess what? They can't go to school. Tomorrow they're going to clean the school out. And I'm sure that the governor, they will close down schools soon.
And you know, if the kids get COVID, maybe it's not going to attack them as much as it's going to attack an elderly. So here they are coming home to their parents who their immune system is strong. They're not showing any signs or symptoms, but here you are with an underlying condition of diabetes, obesity, hypertension, and maybe some surgery, maybe cancer. And I have one patient who's suffering from all of the above and still open up his home to a family who came from out of state positive with COVID.
Oh my gosh.
I felt that was so wrong because the visitor didn't inform them I am COVID positive. So here you are, open your entire home to a guy who walked in with COVID, and you're protecting yourself. That was so wrong.
And this is not the time to invite anybody. And as we know that Thanksgiving, you said, is coming next week. You guys could cook and eat by yourself. You don't need anyone. Not that you don't need them, but you know what? I know that people will understand that, this is a pandemic. It's all over the place, and you don't want to get it, especially if you have young children and older adults living with you.
Especially if you know you're around in the medical field or you're a frontliner who could be carrying this thing around. You don't want to give it to anyone. So guys, protect yourself. Self-care is very important. Eating well, sleeping, and exercise are your 3 things that will build up your body. Your care comes first, because if you take care of yourself, you'll be able to take care of anyone else around you. Your care comes first.
Self-care is the best thing that you can do. Love, like Shanaz said, love yourself first, and then you can love anybody else. What's in the cup is for you. What's flowing out is for you to share. And I'm so lucky that I have so much flowing out of my cup that I could share it every single day.
Me too. And I love being here, part of Chit Chat with Shanaz and Ken, the famous John from Queens. Thank you very much for always uploading our program. You could check it out on his channel. You could share the link with someone. And if you know someone struggling or they need to cope with something and they need a friend, you could call upon myself or Mr. Kenneth Ramprasad. Hey, beautiful, good evening to you. And not forgetting Rudy Kirpal, good night, good night. Remember, let's use Thanksgiving as a time to sit down and have dinner with our immediate family. If you have kids, make it a conversational night, a game night. And this time, I believe so many parents are spending time with their kids that, we're realizing what's important to us. What is important is the kids you bring into this world. Protect them, treat them right, love them, and remember to let them go to school. Let them get their education, because you're building up for tomorrow. When you can provide for them, they will be able to provide for themselves.
That's right, Shanaz, and the best thing to do for your family and for yourself is to make sure you don't get yourself infected with the coronavirus. You want to be healthy, to stay healthy. Always wear your mask. And Shanaz, I always now carry my hand sanitizer, so that if I touch any door or whatever it is,
Before I get in my car, you don't know where I'm coming from. I'm not taking it to my car. I open the door. I sanitize my hand before you start holding the steering wheels and your keys and everything else. The beautiful Savitri Bailey, good night to you. Bobby, thank you very much. Hey, Rosetta, good night to you. Thank you guys for being a part of our Monday. Sabita Kumar. It's sad that we have to go, but we're hoping to be back here next Monday. If you'd like to hear a special song, if you'd like to have a dedication, send it to us, and our DJ Selecta Bolt will make sure it airs for you guys. So,
until next week, are we closing off now? Until next week, do have yourself a very pleasant evening and enjoy the rest of the week. Always try to maintain and save yourself from the COVID-19, the coronavirus. You don't want to get it. If you know that you have it, please self-isolate yourself. And Shanaz, there's a lot of places that you can also go and get free tests, like the libraries and so on. If you want to know where you can get the free tests, you can always inbox me around in Queens, and I can give you that address.
Biram Jairam, good night to you. John from Queens. Let's eat some turkey, guys. And turkey is healthy. I know a lot of folks don't like turkey, but if you get the farm-raised turkey, and my turkey always seems to be very juicy, a little turkey tip. If you're roasting or broiling turkey, put some orange, fresh orange inside. Stuff it with orange, and it's so soft. And you can marinate it also with some orange juice. Hey, Dayal, good night to you. Good night to each and every one of you. Biram, Jairam. Until next time, love yourself, love everyone around you. The beautiful Vimala Prasad. Take care, God bless, and all the best to you and yours.
Love you guys. Do have a good week, all right? And no matter whatever comes your way, look at it in a positive way, okay?